airships are making a comeback.
They might be, which is kind of fun. The last time airships were really a thing was in the 30s. As you mentioned in the opening, everyone may have heard of the Hindenburg, which was basically the death to the airship.
A minor blimp in this.
Minor glitch. But it was a German Zeppelin, the giant blimp kind of thing that could cross the Atlantic, and it had a bad landing in New Jersey and blew up spectacularly. Amazingly, I did not realize this. Not everyone died.
Actually, even though the guy is screaming, "Oh, the humanity! No one's dead."
34 out of 97 people, I think it was, on board died. But I don't know. 35 and one on the ground. Anyway, I thought everyone would have, because the whole thing blew up in like 1 minute. But that was enough to scare people off of it. Plus the fact that airplane technology was taking off. One of the reasons it exploded, which is also interesting, is they would have used helium. But U.S. had export controls to Nazi Germany on helium, so they used hydrogen instead, which is highly flammable. And
well, there's not a lot of helium. I also read an article, and this was back in like 2011, I remember, that there's like a pretty finite amount of helium. So I don't.
Interesting.
If these 5 companies actually begin to scale production, I don't know how much. I could be wrong. Who knows?
Every balloon shop in town has some.
Yeah, but that's true. But if you start, going crazy with
the Hindenburg.
Anyway, so there's 5. Actually, I found another one. So 6, maybe even 7 companies that are legitimately developing these things, and they're everywhere from Sweden, South Africa, UK, US, and there are 2 kind of use cases, or a few use cases actually. One is tourism. 2 is getting to places where there's no roads or airstrips. This is one of the more serious ones. And another is cargo. And they're hoping that maybe this could be a sweet spot between trucks and airplanes. So of course, both emit a lot of emissions, especially airplanes. Trucks are slow, but can take more, and cargo, maybe more like a cargo ship, right? So they can take significant amount of payload. There's still issues with developing them. You'd need, different sort of heliport kind of things. The cost still an issue. Maybe helium is an issue. They're still susceptible to weather somewhat, but there's a lot of companies seriously developing them. There's one in Sweden that on the tourism front, it'll take you to the Arctic, to the North Pole. And they've got, actually, can we have a look at that? I think we've got some video of what that could look like. So yeah, here's one of the companies.
Is that a real video or AI?
This is AI. This is they're supposed to have them out really quickly.
I don't like that.
Yeah. But anyway, they're kind of slow, much slower, like 80 miles an hour kind of thing. And but that one's called the Ocean Sky, that one that we're looking at there, which is very cool. The closest one is probably actually one being developed by Sergey Brin. And they have flown a test flight already. It's called the Pathfinder, and it's for bulk cargo, but also to go places, to bring humanitarian aid places where there aren't.
It's being developed by Sergey Brin?
Yep.
You mean a company he invests in, or he himself is involved?
It's his company. Is one of the founders of it.
Really? So
yeah. It's called Lighter Than Air Research, LTA Research. It was founded in 2015, and they're developing these Zeppelin, and it's gone, we're not there yet, but they had a test flight outside of their facilities, so something has flown. There was a Russian one that was looking pretty promising, except apparently they've hit some setbacks recently, some war
because
issues.
of the war.
Export controls, yeah. Well, I guess, blimps wouldn't do that well. Interesting. Sergey Brin, I mean, he's a very forward-thinking guy, obviously a billionaire.
Yeah, that's why I call that one kind of the most serious, candidate, I think, at the moment.
Since it has his stamp of approval, I take it more seriously. Well, one thing I would just say to kind of wrap it up is, like, I didn't even think of airships and blimps, but I feel like if you fast forward 30 years, one of the biggest developments, if I had to guess, besides I guess AI and whether we're living in pods and all that, will be like drones and flying cars. Because every once in a while you get a video on Facebook or wherever, like X, Instagram, and it's this company you've never heard of, or it's like a small startup, and they have like a drone that you can sit on and fly, or a jetpack.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, behind the scenes you guys are developing that. And I feel like you develop some prototypes, you invent a system of mass production, you roll it out. Obviously there's a huge demand for it. Who wouldn't want a flying car if it's priced accordingly? So I feel like the technology already exists there. I feel like it's the manufacturing and the streamlining that's now the issue.
Yeah, the flying cars, I researched them a lot too. There's a whole bunch of issues with them. One of them, imagine, you know how loud a drone is? So if it's kind of drone technology, imagine how loud. So that's one of the things that they're really working on to bring down the decibels.
Right.
Yeah, a whole bunch of other issues. One is FAA actually, what are they? Are they a car? Are they an airplane? They have to make a new class. Are you taking pilot's license to drive one, to fly one? Are you know,
but those are all details,
like?
Cindy. The key is the fact that they exist. Like there's already cars out there that fly. That's amazing.
Have you seen the jetpacks? I think it was in the Marines promo video. That's got to be good for recruitment.
Yeah.
That was super cool.
Because speaking of sound, with the drones being so loud, I think that's something that's so nice and idyllic about the airships. And because you see them a lot in Japanese animes where they're depicting some kind of beautiful, harmonious world where we're a little bit more at peace with technology as well as nature, and they fit in together really nicely. I feel like the airships and the blimps are a staple. You know, they're in some sort of Studio Ghibli film. They're just like floating by, and I think there's something so idyllic and nostalgic about them because they're not loud and because they move slower. They're kind of just floating by like a cloud, something to stare up at in the sky. So if they come back, I'd be very happy.
All right, and on that happy note, that's the show. All right, I know exactly what you're thinking. That was a great clip you just watched. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to follow and also check out either these videos or maybe they're on this side. I don't know which side they're on. But we set it up so these are the videos that YouTube is suggesting to you as the best ones that you'll probably like the most. So check them out, this side,